Good day, friends! This is Russian Beer Stories channel with a new selection of cool stories. Today we have a new episode straight from the Russia of 90s. Put a like and then last number of your like will show you who you would have been in Russia in the 90s. Well, listen to our stories, they are really cool. The following story confirms that there were good people in 90s. When I was a kid, I used to play stock leg. It was the 90s, food was hard to get. Huge queues, coupons, and sometimes my mother left me at home alone and went for these products. We lived on the first floor and I sold sausage, cheese, gingerbread through the window for leaves. All people around were happy to buy them. When mom understood what happened, my ass was full of bruises. But it was so difficult in the 90s in Russia, this story will help you understand why. My early childhood was marked by the harsh 90s. There was no money, only the father worked, all products were on record. But my mother and I always wanted gifts and miracle for the new year. We wrote letters to Santa Claus, my brother asked for a computer, I as a girl wanted a Barbie doll and a big house for her. But the miracle did not happen. On the morning of 1st January, we found a modest bag of sweets and a bonus in the form of a robot and a baby doll. My mother shouted that Santa Claus doesn't exist, and only I, being a 5-year-old baby, saw my mother read letters crying and put sweets, which she had saved so hard for a whole year, in a bag. Well, she was wearing sewn-up clothes. Now, I'm 27, my brother died a year ago, my mother retired a long time ago. But when she remembers all this, she cries and regrets that she could not give her beloved children what they wanted from year to year. Put a like if you held the money in your hands and listen to the next story. Many people in Russia remember what it was like to live in 90s. But my parents remember this time with special fondness. Because I, a small but smart child, understood that parents have a hard time, I ran away from them on the sly, picked cherries, apricots and mulberries in the summer, which grew just on the street, and sold them. I was collecting money in a piggy bank, and at the end of the summer, I gave it to my parents. This stash one day rescued us from hunger death. By the way, in the 90s, people were a little angry and irritable. Speaking of goodies and family relationships, it was in the 90s. We didn't have enough money, so in the store we took only the necessary. My mom was shopping and there was a line of other moms behind her. And 2 bananas, she concluded. I too began to resent the woman standing next to her. Why don't you take one more banana for you? We have a small city and everyone knows that my mother has 2 children. Men so buy everything for themselves, wine, cigarettes, and we all save on ourselves. The woman continues to be indignant. My mother responds calmly to all this. I took 2, for myself and my daughter. My son doesn't like bananas. What do you like to eat? Ice cream, burgers, pizza? In Russia in the 90s, delicious food was completely different. My youth was in the 90s, the family was very poor. My mother raised us with a sister alone, and money was sorely lacking. But the peak of poverty was the moment when my mother came home from work and took out a package from her bag, saying, I'll give you something delicious. And there were skins of a head from smoked fish. That's it for today, friends. This was Russian Beer Stories channel with proof of hard life was for people in Russia in the 90s. Subscribe to the channel so that we can feel your love and make new cool videos. For now, that's all. See you soon!